Hey guys, in this video today I'll be discussing an optimization problem as usual. Uh, and today I'll be discussing um, the optimization of the distance from me and a target such that I have the most amount of time to shoot at them. And what I'm basically talking about is I have I have an ability which deploys a sector of a circle, right? And if I just zoom into this, actually, if I just show you, um, so I deploy a region here, which is a sector of a circle. Well, it, yeah, I'm just gonna assume it's a sector of a circle, right? And I'll talk about the dimensions later, but right here is the range I can shoot at. So if I continue the video, when I recast my ultimate, it shoots a bullet, and the bullet travels, and in this time my target can walk around, and usually the target will either choose to evade the bullet or just run out of my range or out of my line of sight. And so depending on where that person is in my line of sight, sometimes they will get away and sometimes they will not. And so I want to find the optimum distance from me, uh, such that it gives me more of a chance to kill them. For example, if this person was here, they wouldn't. Uh, they are less likely to die from me because they could just run out. They could run out of this line of sight, and I could not reach them anymore with my ultimate. Okay, so let's discuss this. And I will talk about its dimensions later, but I will just do a rough sketch, right? Okay, okay, okay. I'll just leave it like that. And so there's my range right now. And so let's say my target was some arbitrary position. Let's just pick here, right? So this here is me, and that cross there is the target. And so where it has to run is straight here, right? That is the shortest distance because it's perpendicular to that boundary. So it would just have to run there. So for the optimum positioning for me, right, I would have to align my line of sight such that they are along the line of symmetry, right? Um, to me that's quite obvious because they would have the same distance to run whether they go to their right or whether they go to the left. Because if they were here, they would just have to run here. So they would, number one, have to be along the line of symmetry. Okay. Number two, well, I want to maximize their distance that they have to run, right? Because they run at a constant speed. If they um, have to run a longer distance, they will have to run for a longer time, and so they will be in my ultimate, or they will have to be in my line of sight for a longer time. So if I just said that they were here instead, right? Their distance, if I just drew their range, right, as a circle for now, um, they would have less of a distance to run, as you can see, right? compared to if they were slightly further away. And if I, so the general idea is the further away they are from me, the better it is. But one condition is I wouldn't want them to be at the very end of it, because even though they have a lot of distance to cover if they ran along these directions, they could just run here. So what my idea is that this distance here would have to be the same distance here, which is also the same distance there. And this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and this also should be a right angle. And I'm just gonna draw a range, right, as a circle. So they can only go in that circle. I mean, it's quite a bad circle, but let me actually get rid of that. So okay, that works out. It's not perfect, but it just looks better. That's fine. So I want to find a radius of that circle, right? Because when I find the radius of that circle, I could work out, because if this is my radius of my, or the range, right, of the range of my line of sight, I could work out the distance from the enemy to me as r minus small r, I guess. Capital R minus r. And that would be the distance that they'd have to be. So they would have to be a distance of r minus r, which is equal to, well, let's find that out right now. So let's go into the Wikipedia, right? And let's go to my ultimate ability, curtain call. The angle of the sector is 60 degrees. And so therefore this little angle here, because this is the line of symmetry, this angle here would be 30 degrees, right? And then my range is 3,500. So I know that my range is 3,500. So I'll replace every single capital R with a 3,500. So 3,500. And then to find my radius. And some of you watching my videos who are in my A-level class might recognize this question. It's not exactly this question here, but instead of 3,500, it was a radius of 6. Actually, I won't put centimeters because I can't remember what it was, but it was 6. And it told you to find the area of the sector, then the radius, and then the area of this here. We did it in year 12, but anyways. So the radius, let's work out what the radius is. So let's see what we have here. I know that this is R, and I know that it touches the edge of the sector, i.e. 90-degree angle. And the distance from the enemy to me would be 3,500 minus R, okay? And if I redrew that triangle, right, with R and 3,500 minus R, this angle here would be 30 degrees. And a way I can relate these three measurements, the 30-degree angle, R and 3,500 minus R, is, well, let's see, where are they in respect to the angle? This would be the opposite, and this here would be the hypotenuse, right? Since it's opposite the right angle. And so I would have to use sine, and sine of 30 is equal to my opposite, which is r, all over 2500 minus r. And I know the value of sine 30, right? 1 over 2. And so cross multiplying, you would get 2r is equal to 3500 minus r. Rearranging, you would have 3r is equal to 3500, and then my radius would be 3500 divided by 3. And so the distance from me to the enemy, right, to have like the optimum position would be 3500 minus 3500 divided by 3, which is equal to 2/3 of 3500. And the reason why this is significant, and the reason why I wrote it like this, is because what this means is that it should be 66% of my full range, which is quite a nice number. So looking at this diagram, right, I've just screenshotted the video just so I can like annotate it. So if we looked at here, right, let me use a different color. I'll use green, right, a light green. So this is me here, and let's say the line of symmetry was around here, right? So I know that, oh yeah, this is my enemy, by the way, sorry, this is my teammate. These two are my enemies, and even though they are slightly off the line of symmetry, I'd say they're in between, so I have like enough time. So it does look like they're about 2/3. I'd say here would be 1/3, and then here would be 2/3. So if I was the enemy in this position, I would directly run the shortest distance, which does look like it's achievable, to here. But instead they ran here, and that just made it easier for me because they don't have to evade that much. It's since there's terrain here, right? There's terrain here, and so essentially what this acts as, what this acts as is a funnel. They are funneling through this terrain, and that just makes it easier because I just have to shoot in this direction here. So it is situational, but the optimum position would be around here. Okay. And as a frame of reference, right? If I went slightly back, I think that's too far back. Okay.
This would be easier if...
So I will be using this ability here, which is just like a linear shot.
What came in more colors?
So as soon as you use it, okay, there we go. So here is another ability, right? And this time the range is slightly less. Let me see what it is. It has a range of around 2500. So as a reference point, right? So from here to there, that is around 2500, right? Around. And so 2300, and well, okay, let me actually write that. So this is 2333, right? Wait, is that? Sorry, no. This is, how do I, okay. 1166.6 reoccurring. This here is 2333.3 reoccurring. So that's my optimum distance, right? And as a reference point, it should be slightly less than it. So it should be approximately here, I think. Um, it does seem like they are slightly before that, but it's okay. Yeah, okay. So just to recap, right? Um, for any Jhin players out there, or for anyone who wants to pick up Jhin, uh, I mean, this is super like, I don't really know, super extra, I guess. But if you want to maximize your ultimate utility, you would number one have the target along the line of symmetry. Okay, and number two would be have them at a distance of approximately 2300 units. Um, if you want the exact answer, it's 2333.3 reoccurring. That's assuming that they don't move. Um, so you want them at this distance here. And as a reference, as a reference, uh, should this should be slightly less than your W. Deadly Flourish. That's what it's called. Deadly Flourish. Okay. Thanks for watching. Uh, for any Jhin players out there, I hope you use this information. If you don't, oh well, you know. But I enjoyed solving this optimization problem. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.